Hello everybody, Smith here, and welcome back to some more BD Armory. Today we are taking a look at airborne aircraft carriers. That's aircraft carriers that are airborne, not carriers of airborne aircraft, because all aircraft are airborne aircraft. It's kind of making the phrase a bit useless. I mean, you're not really going to have ground-based... I've drifted horrifically off of the point. Let's get back to it. So this is the Christmas aircraft carrier I made for the most recent Christmas special. In there I've got 4 of my Wasp mini fighters, and you can open up the cargo bay, you can deploy the craft one by one, and it's all well and good. The Wasp mini fighters aren't really that effective though. They're not really up to the task of engaging with any serious craft. Although it's pretty good if you just switch the teams on the aircraft carrier and watch it get blown up by the Wasp. But yeah, the sort of that Mark III cargo bay, you're not really going to be able to fit anything seriously competitive into there. So I was browsing through my mods folder, and I saw I had the Mark IV system mods. So I decided I was going to give that a go instead. So this is what I came up with, and it is a beast of a craft. Just to give you a sense of scale, these are not just the FAT main wings. These have been scaled up 150% using tweak scale, so this thing is a beast. I've got 4 of these J90 Goliath engines and a couple of the Weasley turbofans on the back, just because why not? There's a place to put them, so you know I just put them there. These things make a hell of a noise, though. I think I might have to turn them right down in the mix, but let's take this thing off and see what it can do. So in here we've got just the single fighter at the moment. Obviously for later we'll want to kit it out a bit more comprehensively, but I discovered that I could almost but not quite fit my spike tails into the cargo bay of this thing, so I created a special airborne aircraft carrier version of my spike tails, and that's what we'll be using for the rest of the video. I could have gone and sort of just created something from scratch, and that probably would have been better, but yeah, with a baby, I think any way I can find to sort of cut down on the amount of preparation time is good. Anyway, yes, let's just I think we've got enough height here, so let's just cut down the throttle. Let's just not quite that much. Let's level this off. Well, that should do us. So what we need to do is open up the cargo bay doors. In there you can see one of my slightly narrower version of my spike tails. We press 8 to lower the fighter into the airstream. Previously I was using... actually we'll get onto that a bit later. Previously I was using one of the telescopic pneumatic rods, but I decided not to continue with that. Yeah, as I said, I'll mention that in a bit. But we just decouple the node. We switch to this craft. For some reason pressing space won't do anything, so we've got to activate the engine like that. And yes, off we can go. Good stuff. And then of course we can switch back to the aircraft carrier. We can retract our little deployment rod. We can close the bay doors. Realise we're getting a little bit bored now, so we'll just see what happens here. Yeah, but that is it. Obviously I've just got to go and kit this out so it can take 3 craft rather than just the one at the moment. Yes. At the moment it's just the releasing of fighters. You'll notice I used a docking adapter there, but well, yeah, let's go explain that one. So why was I whittering on about the piston and the docking ports? Well, originally I intended this to be something you could launch from and then dock the craft back with and refuel and what have you, but I tried a couple of times whilst I was just testing this thing out to actually undock the craft and then dock it back again, and it didn't go well. I had the telescopic piston instead of the standard one, just to drop the docking port a lot lower below the carrier and make docking a possibility, but either I need a lot more patience or a lot more skill, or both, because both times it was just a disaster. The thing you can see here highly sped up is my second attempt, which wasn't quite as much of a comedy of errors as the first, but yeah, not good. So theoretically these craft can dock back with the aircraft carrier, but we're not going to do it. Technically, it's possible, but yeah. Anyway, let's see what we can get up to with this thing. I won't waste any more time with introductions. We are going straight into a scenario. I'm taking my carrier to attack the KSC. We have a squadron of my Red Hawk craft there to defend it. I obviously am carrying 3 of my carrier variant spike tails, and I think the spike tails are probably weaker than the Red Hawks, so we're going to try and get the drop on them. I'm not going to be too much of a dick about it, though. I will wait until they've sort of reacted to the carrier. There we go. So, 1 craft away. Oh! Eventually. 2nd craft away. Last craft away. That didn't do too much damage. Oh, it's stupid bugger. Oh, well, I had to re-record this a number of times because of technical difficulties. We're not going to let that stop us. Just let you start aiming high and popping countermeasures. So hopefully you make a quick getaway. But oh, one of the Red Hawks is gone already. So that does even things up nicely. Red Hawk's having to do plenty of evasion there. Oh! One of the carrier planes has now gone completely and totally. I am assuming... No, it's just the one healthy spike tail against 2 of these Red Hawks. Well, I mean, I think the other carrier plane is providing some distraction as it snipes with missiles. Yeah. Hopefully that does give the last remaining healthy spike tail the chance to come in and do its thing. I'm not too hopeful though. I mean, it hasn't really been tuned properly. I'm still using the default tune from my other spike tails, and given that this has had some pretty hefty design revisions, that's probably not a good thing. Yeah, the other carrier craft has gone. Oh, and the gunfire rains in. And that is not good news. The Red Hawks do manage to drive off the attack. Well, damn. Legged Lackkerman coming around, trying to put the boot in there. What happened to did my carrier get hit? Lost its weapon manager. Yeah, I think it must have taken a hit to something, because it's no longer registering, but it looks like... Oh, damn it. Oh, damn it. No, the Red Hawks are coming for... No. Well, they sacrificed themselves bravely. But yes, my carrier plane did manage to get it away, albeit shorn of its weapon manager and autopilot. Okay then, not the result I was hoping for. They did manage to get a kill at least. But yeah, moving on. Now we're going to take a quick break from all the death and destruction, just a very brief one, mind you, to take a quick look at this. What is this? Well, let me explain. First of all, we'll get this taking off though. You see, there's been lots and lots and lots of experiments to look at airborne aircraft carriers or parasite fighters which deploy from bomb bays to protect a bomber. But none of them have really come to fruition. And as an example, I'd like to take, well, the X-85 Goblin, the McDonnell X-85 Goblin, which is one of the things I came across while researching this video. And this is my attempt to do it some justice, because I just looked at it. It's the most adorable combat aircraft I've ever seen. It's got detachable landing gear here because the real thing didn't have any landing gear. It was supposed to launch and dock back with its mothership, which was a B-36 bomber. But yeah, it never really came to fruition for much the same reason that none of these airborne aircraft carrier ideas have ever really come to fruition, and that's that if you have a craft which needs to fit inside a cargo bay or a bomb bay, it's not going to come close to outperforming an aircraft which doesn't have that requirement. I mean, unless someone does something really clever in the future. But yeah, this is just my little attempt at the cutest fighter plane I've ever seen. Got 4 of the Browning machine guns like the real thing does. But yeah, it's kind of sad because the idea is a really, really awesome one. And of course, we can sort of dick about with it here in KSP without any real consequences. But I just thought I wanted to take a quick look at this. The one of the various failed attempts that have gone before us. Anyway, let's get back to the shameless carnage. So to finish off with, we're just going to go through another scenario, only instead of us attacking the KSC with 3 fighters, we've got 3 ground units down here. A goalkeeper and 2 missile units, which should keep the craft aboard the carrier busy. I've sort of kitted these out so they're now ground attack variants of the carrier fighter. I'm not going to be coming in straight in this time. I want to sort of come a little bit side on so that hopefully the carrier can actually deploy its countermeasures and properly and successfully. Let's drop these craft down. Once again, we're going to wait until we get some kind of response. I think I want to be coming a little bit more of an angle than that. How are we doing on the range? Yeah, we are just about to get within range of these things. Let's just... Oh, yeah, they are firing, so... 1 craft away, 2 craft away, and straight into the cargo bay. This only ever happens when I'm trying to record this. This never happens. Oh, for goodness sake. There we go. If we can pull you out of that dive now, that'd be fantastic. Oh dear. I was supposed to be going back to these craft and just sort of commentating on how they're doing in their little battle against these ground units. They don't seem to have come to much damage, much harm so far, but I think the missiles are now making their way in. Goalkeeper unit not really responding. One of those missile units taken straight out. The other missile unit taken straight out as well. Now the goalkeeper cannon is reacting, targeting one of the craft. Oh, that is brutal. That is brutal. Oh, and a close missile. And a missile that came too close does for the goalkeeper unit. Okay. Right, so that was a little bit more successful than the previous attempt. And I think all 3 craft are actually orbiting, even the one that decided it was going to get a little too up close and personal with our carrier craft. Let's just tuck you away and get you coming round to join your teammates. That was weird. As I said, only when I try to record. I've done test flight after test flight, and only when I try to record does one of these sodding fighters do anything like that. Anyway, never mind. I think all in all this has been a successful little test flight for our little airborne carrier. I don't know if I'll probably see if I can use it. Sorry, the throttle indicator's not working properly. Never mind. It's all going wrong at the end. Anyway, yes, probably see if I can use this in some future videos. But anyway, that will be all for this one. I do hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, and you haven't already, please consider liking, subscribing, maybe even following me on Twitter, getting involved with the Discord, or if you fancy it, you fancy helping support the channel, there's links to my PayPal and Patreon in the description as well. I will be back soon with some more BD Armory, but until then, thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you next time.